Hey, buenos dias, ¿qué pasó, amigos? Welcome back to the channel, John's Moto Garage. Today we're going to do the final video on the Yamaha V-Max. I do have some other videos coming out in the future, but we're just going to go over how much I lost on that deal. And so we'll go over what I paid for it, how much I ended up selling it for, why I took a hit, all that good stuff. If you didn't watch my last video, I'll put a link below, but I basically went over some of the buyer's remorse, some of the things I missed on the inspection, and some of the regrets I had with that purchase. Now, as always, the reason I do these videos is so you can learn from my mistakes. It's not to whine or complain or anything like that. It's just, it is what it is. So just to recap, it was a 2007 Yamaha V-Max, had about 23,000 miles. I bought it here local. After purchasing the bike, I realized the fork seals were leaking pretty good. I'm not talking just a little bit, but I'm talking like a little puddle after the rides, got on the rotors. Definitely something you would want to have addressed sooner than later. And then additionally, I noticed there's an oil leak in the engine somewhere as well. Aside from that, the kill switch wasn't working, but nothing crazy. Now, I do understand it's a used motorcycle, you're gonna have issues. I get that entirely. The primary source of my buyer's remorse is I overpaid for the bike, and since it ended up having these issues, that basically cut into any potential buffer to not lose money on the deal. I went in not really expecting to make any money, but I lost a lot more than I was hoping to lose. Anyway, so let's start by going over how much I listed the bike for and sold it for. So I listed it for $3,850. Now, Kelley Blue Book, you can go by loosely sometimes. I know they have NADA as well, just to kind of get an idea for you know, what bike's value is. But Kelley Blue Book has it at trade-in around $3,000 and retail, I don't know, I think just over $5,000. The thing is with Kelley Blue Book is it depends where you live, it depends what other bikes are out there on the market and all that stuff. I had been looking for a V-Max for well over a year, and they were becoming harder and harder to come by. And it's also hard to find a V-Max that doesn't have a crap ton of miles or that doesn't need quite a bit of work. A lot of them aren't even running, and people are still asking $3,000 for them. So I felt like mine, even though it had the known issues, which I did disclose in the post, I felt like $3,850 was a fair price. Now, shortly after listing mine, there was another dude who came out. He actually messaged me. He's like, "Hey man, you've been getting any activity on your V-Max?" And he ended up coming in even lower, but his had like 40,000 miles, and I think he listed his for 3,300, but it had about twice the mileage. But prior to that, I hadn't seen anything comparable for under like 4,500 bucks, even extending my search out to like Las Vegas and California. So long story short, I do feel like that was a fair price. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Does $3,850 seem like a solid price for a V-Max? But yeah, that's what I listed it for, and I was firm on that price. I had plenty of activity. I had a dude wanting to come from California. I had some other people here local trying to get funds together and come out to check it out. Ultimately, I had a gentleman from St. George, Utah, made arrangements, had a buddy of his come down to pick up the motorcycle. We did multiple calls. I spoke with a buddy of his. I sent him photos of different things on the bike, and I tried to be as upfront as possible with him as far as the condition. He ended up seeing some of my YouTube videos as well, so I'm hoping he had a pretty good idea of the condition of the bike and everything when he picked it up. And I also believe he runs a mechanic shop, and so that's what I figured. If I'm going to sell it to somebody at that price point, it's going to be somebody who is either going to take it to shop, and that gives them a little bit of room to put some money into it and they still don't have too much into the bike, or it's somebody who knows what they're doing, so they're getting a good deal and they're going to be able to do the work on it and get it into the condition that it needs to be. Long story short, I sold the bike for $3,850. The dude had a buddy come with his truck. We loaded it up. He gave me the cash. Also real cool dude who picked it up. And yeah, I said adios to the V-Max. Now the big question. Let's look at the V-Max going to a better home. Now the big question, how much did I pay for it and how much did I lose? I paid 4,800 bucks for the bike, so I lost about 1,000 bucks on this deal, and I knew I was paying a little bit of a premium. And again, that's kind of the root of my buyer's remorse, is I just paid too much from the bike from the beginning. Had the bike not had those issues, I think I probably could have sold it for around that 45 to 48 mark, so I wouldn't have lost as much money, and it wouldn't have been as big a blow. You know, I could ride it, have fun, do my videos, and then break even basically. But in this case, I did lose a decent amount. In fact, I think that's probably like the most I've ever lost on a motorcycle. But anyway, you win some, you lose some, you know, it's just the name of the game. Now, one thing I will make clear, just draw the distinction between buyer's remorse on a specific purchase and not liking a specific bike. Yeah, I had buyer's remorse on that purchase. There were a lot of mistakes I made, things I should have done differently. I never said I don't like the V-Max. I still totally respect the beast of a machine that it is, and I am a fan of the V-Max for what it is. When I do my videos, I'll do videos what I like, videos what I dislike. Obviously, you got to make your own decision on which bike is the best bike for you. And every bike has its pros and its cons. The V-Max, that is a gnarly bike, perhaps the gnarliest muscle bike, definitely I'd say the gnarliest muscle bike. And so for the dude out there looking for that, it is the perfect motorcycle. For me, not so much, because I'm not necessarily looking for that. But anyway, yeah, there were some things I should have done differently on that specific purchase. Doesn't mean I hate the V-Max by any means. Just wasn't stoked on some things with that one. Like and subscribe if you dig it. I appreciate the support. You can hit me on Instagram at John's Moto Garage. And until next time, adios, nos vemos.